Wrap up today. This is our last day. We will not be broadcasting tomorrow, Thursday. This is our last day at EMC World. Dave, we had a marathon session this week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. A lot of highlights. Pat Gelsinger. Joe Tucci didn't come by. I was kind of disappointed by that. I hoped Joe Tucci would come by, and CEO of EMC. I just don't think the Blogger Lounge was friendly enough for Joe this year.
Yeah, I mean, he came by last year, and he had an entourage. He spent some time here, didn't he?
His buddy came by, Jack.
Jack Mullen, yeah.
Yeah, so I saw them at the Unisys party, and they told me they'd do a flyby. So
Joe's still here. Who knows? But,
we got to get Joe in the cube.
That would be good. I think that, nonetheless, yeah, so let's talk about that, John.
I read 17 announcements. I tallied up roughly about 17 total announcements. I have my little cheat sheet here. Basically,
I think to us, I think that Hadoop announcement, at least to me anyway, underscores the nature of EMC, the way in which the company is trying to innovate. Again, I said EMC oftentimes gets criticized for not innovating, but it does innovate, John. It innovates with business models. It innovates with acquisitions. People say, that's not innovation. What they're doing with Hadoop is really innovative. I mean, yes, it's following others, but for an enterprise whale like that, to me, that was the most significant announcement here because it underscores the change, the transformation of EMC.
Okay, I see the three areas of content, Dave, into a couple different buckets. Here at EMC World, number one, big data. Okay, big data with the Hadoop Greenplum announcements was all the sizzle, and with that is the stake, right? That's the cloud. That's the migration to the cloud. Massive focus on solutions, best of breed. That nurturing of making money. The second thing that I saw was and wasn't really talked about much. Both Pat Gelsinger and Brian Gallagher addressed it, the VNXE, okay? You're seeing that channel entry-level system. And then the third thing is the new emphasis on the new developers, the whole data science theme. So the intersection of cloud and big data seems to be on this new breed of developers. Now, that was a big message of EMC. Not sure I buy that. Not sure I buy that that's a whole new breed of developers. I think that's just classic computer science. I think it's a new kind of developer, I guess, for EMC, but I just don't see it as a new developer. So that's kind of the big three things I saw come out of EMC.
I think I would add to that. I think your observation last night at dinner was right on, is that the whole service provider model, the way in which EMC is dovetailing with its service provider ecosystem, I see that as very powerful. I think EMC's onto something. They see an opportunity to go compete with the likes of IBM and HP, and to a certain extent Dell. I think Perot is not as threatening to some of these service providers. I think Perot's a big competitor, but Dell's sort of new there. But IBM and HP specifically, and EMC has said, all right, we're going to engage with service providers. We're going to enable them. We're going to transfer IP to them, not source code, as Howard Elias said, but we are going to collectively create an ecosystem. EMC's all about ecosystem. I think a lot of this has come from, Maritz's DNA from Microsoft. They were able, and Todd Nielsen, to develop a very robust developer community while at Microsoft. They're doing the same thing at VMware. And we're seeing EMC take a page out of that playbook with the service provider markets. That's very impressive. I think that's up there. It's kind of, not something that everybody talks about a lot, but I think that's actually quite significant.
I think also the emphasis on Silicon Valley was interesting to me.
Yeah, the cultural shift of talent. People from Greenplum, people from VMware, people from Data Domain. Even Isilon, a company up in the Northwest, it's with West Coast DNA. Documentum, not as much of an impact at the corporate level, but still another West Coast company. So I think, and now you look at Jeremy Burton and the people he's bringing in. We had Greg Gotts on theCUBE. We had dinner last night with
my observations.
Jonathan.
My observations on EMC is from just digging in the dirt here is that one, a new image is rolling out for EMC. Okay, a new image. The branding, cloud meets big data. Two, it wasn't talked about much, but the Lightning project. I think the SSD is a major initiative by EMC that will fundamentally transform the products. The third thing is the continued marching forward of Pat Gelsinger as a leader marching with the VMware story and integrating that in. I think those three were the big highlights. The brand, the Silicon Valley kind of focus, the West Coast offense, the Lightning SSD flash kind of direction. Kind of tease that out. They didn't have any specifics other than just saying that's going to be important.
Well, I mean, if they see Fusion IO and they see the lead there and they're saying, hey, we need to get a piece of that action. I'm sure they've been looking at this for a long, long time. I mean, EMC was the first really to bring back flash to the enterprise. Remember, SSD's been around for a long time since I've been in the business, but persistent SSD in the form of flash. In other words, you can store data and not lose it, not have to have an expensive battery backup. That's new. And I think EMC is seeing that and saying, look, we got to get a piece of that action. We don't want to let Fusion IO get too much of a lead. Let's put our hat in the ring. And the interesting thing about that, John, is they're using software to enable flash throughout that IO stack, almost up to the point where Fusion IO is. I see them as complementary, by the way.
Let's reflect on theCUBE, okay? We just saw a screenshot of our boys working back there, Markers and Hopkins, Kian and Michael. theCUBE has been very successful. Dave, we have successfully launched year one of theCUBE.
Yeah, this is our first anniversary of theCUBE at SiliconANGLE and Wikibon, isn't it?
Our first anniversary of theCUBE. I'm really proud of the work. I think the CUBE brand has worked. It's working. I think people generally like theCUBE. I heard from multiple people theCUBE is a great, friendly environment, great interviews, great content, great knowledge being acquired. I'm really, really psyched. So, EMC has been great. The guests have been phenomenal. We heard about, Pat Gelsinger. We got the only thing we didn't get is Joe Tucci.
Yeah, well, and Tucci and Sanjay. I mean, Sanjay gave a good talk. We've had him on before. I wanted to hear more about the dog fooding, but looks like it's not going to happen. But that's okay. I mean,
we had big news happen while we're out here. Skype being bought by Microsoft for $8.5 billion. Obviously, I'm bullish on the Microsoft Xbox, and so is Markers and Hopkins. I think the Xbox and the gaming is a future interface for the world. I think gaming and all aspects of gaming, whether it's Xbox or social gaming, is the user dynamic of the future, and I think that is reflected in the new model of the internet. So, I think a lot of that's powered by EMC and VMware. We heard a ton of VMware kind of messaging this week here, so it's been exciting, Dave.
Yeah, and I think I don't disagree with you about Xbox. My only question was the price and the timing. Would have liked to seen Balmer being more aggressive while the market was lower, but when you have all that cash, I guess it doesn't matter.
Okay, what we should do is go to a Howard Elias maybe interview because we want to highlight Howard again because he had a great interview. Not sure what the schedule looks like. Want to thank all the viewers out there and thank Justin.tv. Want to thank the thousands of users. We had over 300,000 views. Fantastic. Want to thank Michael Sean Wright, Markers and Hopkins. Kian, thanks for that. And thank EMC for allowing us to broadcast their event, Dave. We're the ESPN of sports. We like to do what we're doing, covering all the angles in tech with the deep research in SiliconANGLE.com and Wikibon.org. Nice Fish Films production. We're rocking and rolling. Want to thank everybody.
Justin TV, fantastic as usual.
Justin TV's been fantastic. I mean, their network is
absolutely
away at
Justin, and it just keeps
doesn't
on
fail.
ticking.
Justin.tv does not fail. Justin TV is great. They got a massive new social cam app. I want to thank Social Cam. We use their app a lot. Got Joe Tucci and Pat Gelsinger in the hallway. It's been great. So I think that we're going to just, Dave, call it a wrap. I mean, I think we're done. Any final closing comments?
Well, first of all, John, it was a pleasure to be here with you again. And your team. Really, I appreciate you guys having me on theCUBE and allowing me to participate. Stu Miniman and David Furrier in the field, getting intelligence, passing it our way, bringing guests, bringing more guests, bringing even more guests. It's fantastic. Thank you guys for doing that. And then the team back home. Kristen Nicole,
Jeff Kelly,
Art Lindsay, Jeff Kelly,
Lindsay, yep.
Burt Lattimore, Dave Butler. So many people involved. So many people involved in Kit Dodson in helping us make this happen.
There's a lot goes on. I mean, a lot of things. We say the sausage factory. We went back home. We make theCUBE. We do a lot of preparation. Dave and I, we spend hours preparing on the content programming, get the themes down, to really try to do our best to report to you guys to what's going on in tech, integrate all the trends and connect those trends into this show, and try to connect this show into the mainstream trends. And at SiliconANGLE.com, we have, about 20 plus people working collectively on Wikibon.org and SiliconANGLE to drop in blog posts. Burt Lattimore, Jeff Kelly, Art Lindsay, Kristen Nicole, and a slew of other writers working around the clock, highlighting video and posting them on our site. So it takes a lot of time. theCUBE is magical, Dave. It's been great, but a lot of work goes involved. I want to thank everybody involved, and just all the EMC employees who were helpful in getting us here and getting us the guests. And EMC has been very collaborative, and Michael Gallant and his team on the AR and PR side have been fantastic in supporting us. Jeremy Burton, who gets the social media scene, loves what we do. We love what he does. EMC TV all around doing their thing, working with those guys. So very collaborative, very social, Dave, very social media.
Len Devana, speaking of social.
Len Devana, the innovator here at EMC. Len Devana has been an innovator at EMC, and if you look at what Len's done, Len's kind of been pre-social media revolution. So he was here fighting the battles, Dave, getting the social media.
What's social media? Why do we need to do that?
What do we need social media for? And he's put together the Blogger Lounge. He's done some innovation. He's done some things that have not worked. He's done some things that have really worked. He's cool about it, understands experimentation. He's been great to work with. The entire team, Greg Gotts, Jeremy Burton, whole slew of people. And, of course, all of our friends in Boston and Silicon Valley for supporting us. It's been great.
All right, John. So we've got a lot of stuff to do. We should let people know we're going to be at SAP Sapphire next week in Orlando.
Next week, Orlando, Summer Tour 11, Dave. Talk about the Summer Tour 11.
Yeah, so we're really excited about this. We're here, at EMC World. We're going to be live at Orlando next week, SAP Sapphire. A little different show. We were there last year, and it's Sapphire is all about business. You're going to hear more about application. You're going to hear about, all kinds of business transformations, and really, really exciting to hear what SAP has going on.
How is SAP different than EMC? Because EMC's a platform. They're enabling technologies. And SAP is an application software company. They don't make any hardware.
A lot more suits at Sapphire, right? I mean, it's definitely a different attendee, a lot more CIOs, a lot more business heads. It's
Why is that?
Well,
culture?
because
Or just
no, I think it's yes in part, but I mean, let's face it, the CIO doesn't want to spend time at night thinking about, what's my storage infrastructure doing, for example. He or she is thinking about, how do I add value to the business? So the way they do that is through the application portfolio. So that's companies like SAP, Oracle, certainly IBM's, Business Suite, and Salesforce, et cetera. Those are the applications that these CIOs see as transformative. So they want to be there because these companies are strategic partners. And so that's, a whole different ballgame in terms of attendee. We're going to be at Citrix Synergy the following week.
Citrix Synergy is going to be exciting. Those guys snuck us in the last minute, giving us great space in Moscone West. And Citrix obviously competing with VMware, so it's going to be very interesting. Just goes to show you the power of the Cube, Dave. Citrix Synergy is going to be a counterbalance to the VMware Kool-Aid we've been drinking, so it's going to be exciting.
And we got some support from Xiotech there. They're really going hard after the virtual desktop space, so they're
Xiotech,
they're helping
great
VDI
us get out on the there. Virtual and the desktop.
Yep.
I mean, the tablets have been fueling the desktop virtualization market.
And then we take a break for a week, although maybe not. We might have some news there, and then we're out. We're going to be at HP Discover. We got the full Cube team going there, and we're also going to be down at the Dell Storage Forum down in Orlando. Looking forward to that. That's going to be an unbelievable week. Those are the same week. We've got overlapping Cube events going on, and so watch for us. In the meantime, we've got tons of videos up on SiliconANGLE.tv. The team is blogging.
SiliconANGLE.com. Let's just go through the coordinates, Dave.
Yeah.
SiliconANGLE.com is our blog. Go there every day. Check out the news. We're flowing a ton of content. You can get the full activity stream or top stories. SiliconANGLE.tv is where we'll have all the videos. And come to our Twitter handle, at SiliconANGLE, or my Twitter handle, at Furrier, Furrier. And Dave, your coordinates?
I'm at Vellante. At Wikibon is our Twitter handle, and wikibon.org is our community site. You can go there. You can read research. It's all free. It's all open. It's peer-based. You can edit. Anybody can edit. We love the contributions, love the feedback. You guys have been a great audience and a terrifically supportive community. So, thank you. And please keep the feedback coming. We're trying to improve. We appreciate it when you say, hey, you could do a better job here, or hey, I can help you here and contribute. That's what it's all about. So thanks for those contributions, and really appreciate it.
Okay, this is a wrap. Goodbye, everybody. SiliconANGLE.com, wikibon.org.